It has been months since I've filmed, and it's because I had knee replacement surgery and it took a long time. It's taking a long time to recover. And it took months for me to get back into my studio, which is a bit of a mess. It became sort of a where we just put stuff so that it could be in a safe space and then I wouldn't trip on it, which was a big deal at the beginning of my recovery. And it took me a long time to just even get into a sketchbook. But I finished a sketchbook and I thought we would go through that and maybe also talk about what my plans are for art this year and things I'm excited about, things I'm interested in doing. And yeah, it's just nice to be back. It's nice to be back here with you. And thanks so much to everyone for the well wishes and the kindnesses. My surgery was at the end of October. It's now January, and you've just been so lovely. So thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Let's look at the sketchbook and have a chat about what's in the sketchbook and also like what I'm thinking about for this year. I will say a reminder, my sketchbooks aren't about finished pieces. I know a lot of sketchbooks are, perfect and every spread is perfectly planned. And that's not how I use my sketchbooks. It's just a working sketchbook where I work things out. I try things. I'm working on drawing and practicing. It's just practice. The whole thing is just practice. So let's take a look at what it looks like to practice with me. When I say my desk is a mess, I mean it. The whole studio could use a good clean out. I've done a little bit. I'm slowly doing it. All in good time, right? All in good time. So let me move some of these things that we don't need to be looking at. This is the sketchbook that I finished. It's an art creation sketchbook that I purchased on Dick Blick. I like the size. It's a cream colored paper and I like that. And I don't mind that it looks like this when I'm completed. I'm not looking for, perfectly flat. Like I said, it's a working sketchbook. We'll just get into it. This is like the first page. This is like not the right paper. This different paper, I think. But I went ahead and just did some people. I'm always practicing people, and this is pretty fun. I have people I don't know, and then in here is my family. That's my husband and my grandson and my son-in-law and my daughter and me. So it's kind of fun to kind of interplace them in this, but I like it. I like it a lot. This is from the summer. I was getting photographs from my daughter on their trip, and so I started to just sketch and paint some of those photographs. And it's always challenging to do someone but I do like the simple palette when I look at this. This I was testing the Woody Stiblio for people, seeing if I liked that. I haven't used it much, but I see that I could, looking at this. Just some simple clocks. Another one just of a person. Always painting my house. I'm always painting my house. So another of my house. I was watching YouTube. There's a channel, and I was doing art in the style of her art. This is her, so that was fun. That was really fun to do, actually. I love this. This is my family, and I love this whole thing, the way it looks, everything about it. That's really fun. Doing some dogs. Different kinds of dogs. This is my daughter at camp. This must have been a photograph from her camping. That's my living room. That's my dog, Franklin. These are all this is watercolor. This is outside our window. This is we have an old well house, so that's a well house, and yeah, so it's all watercolor. My garden, also in watercolor. This is probably like 5 minutes, 3-minute sketch, very easy. Using this watercolor gouache palette, probably. It's just random colors that I had, and just trying to use what I actually have. And it's a mix of kinds of paint, different kinds of gouache, different kinds of watercolor, and yeah, so always trying to use what I have. I get kind of, it's in this old fossil watch tin, I'm pretty sure is what this is. And these are metal. The little, they're really stuck in there. The little holders are metal, and then there's a piece of magnet. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a piece of magnet glued at the bottom. So they're just magnetized. So they don't come out. They don't come out when I do that. So I use this as a mixing tray most often. So yeah, it's kind of fun. But that's what these are for the most part. It's a creek, a snake, zinnias. Oh, it's just a photo from my daughter on her trip. That's kind of fun. I love to look different landscapes, right? They were in Colorado, so I'm getting to paint different landscapes. Corn. Fiddle leaf fern, fiddle leaf plant. It's not a fern, it's plant. Yeah. This was a photo that I just think I found online, just trying to sketch out people. Same with this. I think this was just a photograph that I found online doing a tablescape. Different flowers with wallpaper. This feels like that watercolor gouache. This is acrylic. Really fun, really, really fun. I love these. These were just photographs that I found online. And then I love this limited palette. This is really something I think I want to go back to. I just really love the sort of a ultramarine or cobalt blue with, I don't know, an orangey red, right? It's an orangey red. Here it is with a light blue. I like this too. Same thing. This is probably just an online photo. I'm always trying to draw rabbits, and I particularly like this one. So I don't know if any of you remember, but I didn't think I could draw until I was 50. And so when I look at this and I see all of this drawing, I think, oh, yeah, I can totally draw. I can totally draw. So, what I told myself or what I had believed is not true. This is fun, right? Always working on like noses, mouths, different ways to illustrate those features. Yeah, that's fun. This is probably my least favorite thing. I did some collage and then I did some people, and I don't really love it. I realized I don't really love collage. And so I have a ton of collage material, but it's just not really my jam. Or maybe it wasn't in this fashion. Maybe I'd have to think about using it in different ways. I might like collage for collage's sake without drawing. I don't know. I might have to explore that a little bit this year. It's definitely summer here. It's strawberries. That's fun. The never-ending apple study. Everybody does an apple study, right? More strawberries, peaches. This is watercolor, gouache, watercolor and gouache. Little vignettes. Fun, silly cat. Oh, hands. Hands can be hard. And think this pen is this Tombow pen, which has a brush tip and a fine tip. And I get nervous about using it, but looking at this, I think, oh, maybe I should use it more often, because I actually like, when I draw with pencil, like back here, I get too tight, like my strokes aren't sure, right? I get nervous, and so they're real small. But with a pen like this, you can't really do that. You just have to go for it, and I do like the look. And then it's watercolor. Summer, an apple and a pear. I was working out some landscapes here, trying to figure out what I want to do with a landscape. It's another figure, really like that. This, I think, is from a photograph as well. Again, simplified palette. I'm always outside in the summer. This was interesting. This was trying to simplify the landscape totally. Like, so this is our backyard in golden hour, and this is like the bottom of one portion of our yard. Just trying to do a landscape without necessarily identifiable objects in an abstract form. So that's kind of fun. It's interesting. Oh, I got that book, How to Draw Animals by Jack Ham. So drew some animals in his way. This is in September. So this goes all the way. Where is this? To June. So June, July, August, September. Here's more from that book. Working on animals. I must have got cold, so drawing a few, teapot. It's often what my studio desk looks like. Oh, I was watching YouTube. I often do that when I'm watching YouTube. I will draw what I'm, as I'm watching, I'll sketch. So that's fun, and I think that's probably this marker too. Flying. I was enamored by all of these circles in the landscape. So when you're in a plane, you can see this, they're everywhere. It just was fascinating to me. I was in the airport and I was like, okay, I'm gonna draw, I think this was someone's challenge. I'm not sure, probably Mike Lowry. And I just tried to draw as many spooky things as I could. Self-portrait. Barn scene. More bears. I'm always working on bears. So this is probably from that book. Working on the form. These are acrylic markers, Sharpie acrylic markers. I don't love working with markers. I love color, but I don't love markers. These are fun. I just don't feel like they glide. I don't know. It's not my favorite thing. Oh. This is Portland, watching this on the news or watching, coverage of Portland. Just some vignettes for fall. I think these are also, I'm pretty sure these are maybe watercolor and markers. Little silly chicken. More flowers. These are done with markers, whereas these were done with paint. This was way more fun than this. So very similar, but this was way more fun to do than this was. This, I think I drew the weird shapes and then with marker and then made cats out of them. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. Still working on flowers. A little bit of ocean scene with jellyfish. Oh, Frogoween, little frogs. It's my living room. There's many, 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 many drawings of this. Just some doodles, my cup. So this is Halloween, so near Halloween. And then I pick up my sketchbook again after my surgery sometime in November. So this is probably the first sketch that I did after my surgery. Yeah, so November 2nd, November 7th, yeah. My walker, also hardest thing in the world to draw was this thing. Trying to draw this, I wanted to document that I was on a walker at that time, and this was so hard, and I was so frustrated. Anyway, color palettes, just for fun. These are Neocolor 2s, and I was just, making fun and calling them things. Like this one I called Easter basket grass, and this one I called just lavender. This one reminded me of mochi. This reminded me of Wonder Bread, kite tails. That's kind of fun if you're ever just want a creative exercise that's both drawing and thinking. Make a little color palette and then call it something, which I think is really fun. I called this one jelly beans. Yeah, it's kind of a fun exercise. I was listening to a podcast. Zohan Mamdani one. So a quick sketch of him. This is the YouTuber Sincerely Heather Lynn. She was doing a series in the holidays, and as I was listening, I sketched her. This is Steve Burns. I was listening to his podcast. Very silly looking cat. Some little nature studies. This is pretty sure this is Neocolor 2, but I didn't wet them. Picture of me, a little bit of houses, working on some landscape concepts. Mary Oliver, who I loved, and her dog. I think that is what her dog looked like. Patti Smith. Cats. Forever doing cats. Silly Christmas. If I had done holiday cards, this might have been what they would have looked like this year. I did not have the energy to do holiday cards. Just doing some circles. This is another trip photo. This is my grandson. They went to, where did they go? Roswell, New Mexico. So the alien. Owls with, trying to just do mark making within the owl. Thanksgiving. Some apples and pears. This is watercolor and gouache, I'm pretty sure. More cats. Oh, this gruffy little cat, isn't it? Holiday mugs. Cookies. This is a thing that I'm working on for maybe another series. So this is people with houses for heads. Yeah, houses for heads. And then you'll see I did another one of these later. And then I'm working on the form of houses, like trying to figure out the lines of houses in here. This was actually taken, this is Bad Bunny. This was actually taken from a Vogue spread that he did, and that's like the fashion, and then but with the houses. So I'll try to work that out, see what I think. Just some words. This was from Ann Livingston. She was asking us to think about like the qualities of our art practice. It was a whole exercise that she had, and you should definitely check her channel out, and because she often does things like this, and this was great. Just kind of like thinking about our art practice and the words around our art practice, the values around our art practice. This is a quick drawing of crows in the yard. 10 minutes. This is also 10 minutes with lots of materials. I think this was also her, maybe. I'm not sure. This was obviously an exercise from someone. Self-portrait. Working on landscapes again. This is winter solstice. Just always trying to figure out what I want to do with the landscape. reindeer. And then this was the promise to myself. So my promise to myself for the new year in 2026 is to give myself at least 15 minutes a day to be in my studio, drawing, dreaming, painting, plotting, exploring, making, and this time is valued beyond money or external approval. It's my gift to me. I was near the holidays. This is the end. This is just some notes I was taking about something else, and then this I was just testing some materials. But that is a full, fun sketchbook, right? Isn't that fun? So many different things, so many, things I go back to over and over, and then things that, just working out things. It's fun. I just enjoy the process of having that time in my sketchbook. Yeah, so my promise to myself this year is really about the practice of making art as opposed to the monetization of making art. I think last year I really wanted to try to explore, making money off my art, and that's not a bad thing. But there were things I realized that I didn't like doing. I don't really like making prints. I don't want to make stickers. I don't, there's things I don't want to do. I want to make original art, and I want to develop my practice even more in that. And so I am going to honor that this year, I think. I say I think because there might be opportunities that come up. I'm going to remain flexible, but mostly I'm just wanting to create work that I'm growing in the work. And so I think that this is also just a reflection of the world at large, to be honest. I'm exhausted by having people sell me things. Like, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted of every artist having a course and every artist selling a print every month or a mail club, or all of it. And maybe I'm exhausted because I think I don't want to do that. And so I don't know. I don't know what it is. I want people to make money from their art. Please don't get me wrong. I do want you to be successful. I just, for myself, just want to practice making, and if things sell, original pieces sell, that would be great. And I think that's how I'm going to approach it this year. I also want to create a body of work. I had an opportunity to apply for a showcase or a gallery exhibit, but I didn't have enough pieces in one series to be able to do that. And I think that's part of this too, is that I want to make things, and I want to gather, like, who am I as an artist? What am I exploring? And then I want to see where that goes, basically. And so I learned a lot last year. I made money off things, and I appreciate everyone who purchased. And I may pop in with some fun thing, but for the most part, I don't want that to be the center of what I do. I want it to be about the art making this year. And so my promise is really just the 15 minutes, which doesn't seem like that would move the needle very much, but you can get a lot done in 15 minutes. And often 15 minutes goes into, 30 minutes or an hour, but the promise is 15 minutes. Sometimes that's just 15 minutes in my sketchbook. I'm going to grab it. I'm already in this sketchbook, and I'm, pretty well invested in it. And that's just January. So sometimes it looks like this. Sometimes it looks like other projects I'm making. Here's a fun, just to show you, because it's fun. I am in the process of making, if I can get them, necklaces of my art. Like, I don't know, can you see that? I don't know, can you see that? But it's a necklace of my art. This one's almost done. I'm going to put felt on the back so that when it's like on you, it feels good. But This is just because I want to do something fun, and I've made a bunch of them. I'm going to have a bunch of them, and it's like, oh, that's fun. So a lot of that, a lot of like what excites me and what do I think is fun. That's kind of where I want to go this year. And so I hope you'll come along. My goal for the channel is twice a month. That's where I'm going to work at, and maybe more if I'm inspired. But that's about what I think is going to be great. Is that, and to be able to take you along and in the fun of what I'm doing, right? Of what's happening in the studio and what's happening in my art life. And so that's where I'm at. And yeah, so as we know, you're never wasting paint. And this year, I hope you find what you think is fun and follow your heart, and if that is to make products, please do that. Do not take my call to explore art in a different way as and that I think that's bad. I don't. I just know that I need to release that a little bit this year, and that I need to make exploration the goal. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I hope you follow along. I'll see you next time in the studio.